Yes. All right. And so maybe we can start with what's this about. And the good news, basically, it's not about anything. There is no goal in this apparent meeting, because what's pointed to, or what's pointed out apparently, is that what happens is all there is. That's just everything, so to speak. And when I say it's everything, I don't mean it in a physical sense, like here now, it's everything that exists or something. No, what I say when I mean it's everything, it's just whole and complete. There is nothing else to be found. There is no deeper meaning. There is not more fulfillment or more truth or a deeper truth within what seems to be happening, because what seems to be happening is all there is. There's just nothing else, so to speak. But on the other hand, it's not limited by this being something. What happens, what apparently happens, is no thing. It's boundless and it's timeless and spaceless and all those things. But it stays being sitting in a room, sitting in front of a screen, having thoughts, feelings, and all those things. The other thing is, what's being pointed to is that there is no experience of things. There is no experience of this apparent happening, so to speak. There's no one there. That's the other thing that's pointed out. It's not pointed out to anyone. The pointing out to just is what apparently happens. It's for nothing, of course. All right, as there is no one in the first place, there is no one to be taught anything, and there is no one here who's teaching anything. It may look like that through the eyes of the seeker, but it's just not happening. It's a dream, so to speak. I am is a dream. I am here in order to get something, in order to teach something, which would be, in that sense, my part, is completely illusory. There is no teaching around. There's no real personal dynamic happening. All right, that's it, I guess. So it's for nothing. It is nothing, and it's for nothing. It. There is no it.
Yeah. Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
It looks like I don't know how to say in English. I like it to hear it that nothing matters.
Yes. So far, so good. Yes, that's wholeness. Yes.
You know, there are sometimes I'm really touched by this unconditional love, and but I guess that's the way I'm thinking about it. It's that the touching is that it's maybe it's not it's everything, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, all there is what apparently happens. And in a story, one could say it's everything. It's the being touched by it. It's the not hearing of it. It's the illusion of separation. It's the melting back. All of it, so to speak, is what apparently happens. And all of it is naturally whole and complete. Yeah. But there can also be being touched, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
I kind of think that the more questions I ask, the more answers I get, and the more answers I get, the better, because then the closer I'll be to finding what I was missing. But since there's actually not a need for an answer to what is because it's already everything, then there's not a need for asking questions either, is there?
Oh yeah, of course. That need is completely dreamt. Of course. And yeah, of course. There's no need to ask questions. There's no need to seek. Of course not. Yeah. It's not
So
needed.
the questions are kind of constantly saying, provide me with an answer, provide me with an answer, provide me with an answer.
Well, yeah, it's basically, yes, the person thinks, I need to seek, I need to be there, I need to seek, I need to inquire, I need to be aware, I need to be attentive, I need to notice. No, it's all of that isn't needed. I need to be present. No.
So in a way, it's the same structure here as it would be anywhere else in life. Like I got, like, say, for example, the person seeking in money. I got some money, I felt good for a bit, but it wasn't everything. So now I need to get more money and get that good feeling again. And eventually it'll feel like enough.
Yeah, it's kind of the person lives in an approach to life, as if there is something to life. And what the person does is kind of approaching it. How do I approach life? How do I deal with job, with money, with whatever? And so it's approaching these meetings, so to speak, or this message in the same way that it approaches everything else. Of course.
Even if the sense of self did collapse for anyone attending these meetings, they would have no idea what that is.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. There would be no meeting left.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Andreas.
Yes.
I was with Roger Castillo yesterday.
Oh.
And he said that unresolved this lifetime can continue into the next lifetime until the resolution takes place. Well,
well, yeah.
Is that true?
Well, it's obviously a story because there is no this lifetime and there is no next lifetime. There is no happening going on.
Because as soon as he said it, I thought, that's the worst fucking thing I've heard in a very long time.
Well,
because I thought, if resolution has to take place or is necessary, how does one make that happen?
Yeah. It's
so he would say that the apparent falling away that, again, in your story that happened is because previous lifetimes had prepared you for this lifetime so that you would have this revelation.
Yes, but the resolution of issues, so to speak, has nothing to do with liberation anyway. So it just has nothing to do with what we talk about here at all. Not only that it doesn't exist, even if it would be like that, it still wouldn't have anything to do with what we talk about here. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just.
But there's no time element, right? I mean,
that's what I mean with this whole happening doesn't exist in the first place. That there is a real happening. That what happens, what apparently happens, is real in the first place.
Okay.
So the thing is that you just can't answer something like that logically, because it's already in the story, and theoretically you can make up all kinds of stories and then you can answer them with another story and be in logic. The thing is, that there just is no answer to this, because this whole reality doesn't exist as such. Because you can't really, I mean, you can, but this would just be in the story, invent another truth, saying, no, this is not true, but something else is the truth, and that doesn't really exist. That's why you can't really discuss stuff like that. Is it right? Is it not right? It's a...
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, Anita.
Yeah, there is nothing to resolve.
There is no one to resolve anything, and nothing has to be resolved. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be what apparently happens or not. Yeah.
Yeah. And there are apparently people which are saying there is non-locality, and they think it has to do about being present.
Yeah, which is
The story.
a very extreme contradiction, because being present is the locality. That is locality.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's actually amazing how this can go together.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Everything is a wonder.
Yes. Including this. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the thing. The sense of presence is the sense to be now here. That is locality. That is time and space.
That is the I am.
That's the I am, so to speak. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Andreas.
Hi.
I kind of just realized, or maybe I have realized it before, I don't know, but I want this message to cure everything for me, to make everything good. But it's no different to the seeking I was doing anywhere else before I came to this. I thought those things were going to solve everything once and for all. And now the hope has just transferred. Okay, those didn't work. Those didn't give me what I needed. So now the hope's just transferred here.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will solve everything for me.
Yeah. Forget it. It won't. There is no you. There is no for you. Yeah. And this message is not the answer. There is no answer to anything. Yeah.
But the person's going to seek somewhere.
Yes. The person is the seeking. It goes together. You can't separate those two.
And it doesn't matter where the person seeks, if it's money or here or spirituality or food or...
Yeah, whatever it thinks that it gets, it won't end the need. It won't answer the need.
Which is why you've said many times to me that if the liberation happens, so to speak, or the set self drops, it had nothing to do with anything that went before it.
So to speak, yes, the dropping of the me, which is the story, is not the successful end of the seeking. It's not the successful end of the seeking career. There's no connection. It's just the end of the seeker, or the end of the seeking, for no reason at all. And theoretically, as a story, one could say it could happen any time. Never because the seeking was successful or came to an end or you saw it all or whatever. There's absolutely no connection in that sense. Yeah.
The seeking is totally useless.
Totally. Of course, it's not wrong.
No.
Because it is what apparently happens. But yes, it's for no reason at all. While in the person's reality, it always feels as if it is needed. I have to see, I have to. It's undoubted almost. because the person itself is the seeking, so it can't really doubt itself. But yeah, it's completely useless. And as I say, theoretically, which is a story, it could be over in an instant. It doesn't need to be finished. The person thinks, well, I have to finish the seeking, I have to come to an end with it, like organically, and then at one point it's over, and then I'm fine. So no, forget it. It could just collapse for no reason at all, as it apparently happens for no reason at all, and it's not needed.
But for the person, it does really seem to promise like it's going to get me somewhere.
Yes, exactly. I need to seek. That's the basis of me maybe getting something at some point in the future. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's yes.
That's why I mean, it's not a completely hopeless message, because we talk about the collapse of the me.
Yes, I know what you mean. The thing is that the hope would only happen for the person thinking that the collapse of the me is kind of something that it can enjoy afterwards.
I understand that, and I know that, but the other thing about it is that you can't just not say it because it'll feed the person. I understand it's such a paradigm.
That's the thing. You can't save the person. You can't take care. You can't really take care that there are no misunderstandings, because this again would be for the person. Who else would be, you know, that's the thing. The moment you start to be careful, you're back in a teaching, so to speak. Or the moment there is someone who is careful to not create misunderstandings. I mean, hello, there is no...
Okay, so what is it that collapses?
Well, it's impossible to say, because nothing really collapses.
So why not just stick with that?
Who would be able to stick with that? To not move on, to keep it together or something.
Yeah, I know. I feel it. I know. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm frustrated, because it's frustrating, you know. I'm frustrated by the fact that you tell me, you know, there's a collapse, and then when it's like, you know, you have two answer buckets, and then one of them is, well, there is no me, and the other one is when it collapses, you know, and then it's like two separate realities, really.
Yes, but that's the thing, the person can't get together. That's the real and unreal stuff, which for the person always is an either or. Is it now real or unreal? Can I get something or not? And it would love to have the clarity to know either one. But that's the problem, so to speak, that it's real and unreal, which are both, which can't be understood at all. It would love the simplicity of knowing. Is there liberation or not? Tell me. No, impossible. Forget it. And I know it, seen from the person, which I shouldn't be allowed to say, actually, theoretically, this is utterly frustrating. Yeah. And apparently there are quite a few people which could confirm that frustration.
Yeah, because as we talked about, for example, Lisa's message sort of shifted to that place where it's like, okay, there's nothing to talk about in terms of the me, but it does felt to me, you know, I didn't want to go listen any longer because it felt a bit contrived or something.
In the end, you don't know. It could be what apparently happens, that this kind of...
everything is what already happened.
Yeah, no, but let me finish. But that this kind of speaking just is what apparently happens. But the moment you start having a logical explanation for why, then it's what you say. Then, hey, sorry, well, no, there are no rules, as you say. You can't do it logically or from a personal standpoint, or if the person would do it, it's in order to save someone, to not do mistakes, to not create misunderstandings and stuff, paradoxes or something. But seen from the person, what apparently happens is a paradox all the time, constantly. Nothing makes sense, but it's looking for sense in everything, in the whole world, so to speak. It's trying to find sense, and it's impossible to find it. And of course, it's the same with this message. And I had the same feeling like you. I mean, as if at some point, the kind of a no kicked in because something wasn't allowed or right, with the intention to do it otherwise. It was my impression. I don't know.
Do you well, let me ask you something else.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to talk about this in a different way? Like not in a way that you and Tony and Kenneth are.
Maybe. Well, I can't imagine that because I'm just saying what I say, so to speak. And of course, it's not about words really, but I don't really, of course, maybe you can say it in another way that there is no one, there is no separation, whatever. But
the reason why I'm asking is because, sort of Tony started talking about this in one way, and then we're all sort of listen to Tony. So it influences the way we talk about it. But if it comes out on its own, I wonder if it would come out any differently.
Yeah, it's very theoretical. I mean, there are no boundaries. It's not that there is a certain language, or because there is no real message. But in the end, it's also not really Tony coming up with those things, because you find those sentences really since thousands of years, maybe not meaning this, but this idea is that there is no separation, that there is no I, that there is wholeness, that everything is real and unreal, that emptiness is fullness and stuff. I mean, conceptually, you have this in thousands of years. So I wouldn't even say that.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, Anita.
I don't have a question, but I want to say I love you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Laura.
So this was just relating to what Joey asked. So energetically, it's impossible. Like it's impossible to, when there is no me, which is already a story, then it's impossible to relate to a me. It's like impossible.
Yes,
it's
impossible.
not possible.
Yeah, it's impossible. Exactly.
There
is no me.
Yes, it's just impossible.
Yeah.
And you can maybe on a sense speaking energy in another body is like maybe popping up, but that's so that's just an appearance then. So there is no relating happening. It's just no relating happening.
There is no relating to anything, yeah, because there's nothing separate.
It's really not about the words. It's really not about the words. The words can be anything. It's basically blah, 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 blah. And then still, when no me is blah, 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 then it's no me, blah, 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 blah. Something like that was popping up here. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, that's how wholeness is.
And there's something you cannot grasp it with the logical mind. There is something where it's you just cannot grasp it. The mind just drops. It's like the mind is able to help raising this cup, but that's all. Like, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, what apparently happens is it's ungraspable. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because there is no one.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I personally, oh my gosh, what I personally so much enjoy is like this humor, this sparkling out of Andreas. Apparently, like there's something so, I don't know, cheeky, and I love it. It's this very light and funny. There's always coming this humor up. It's yeah, amazing. And then I need to jiggle, and it's like, yeah. Really abgefahren. Wicked. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Thanks. William.
Yeah, we said once before that this message can have therapeutic benefits, but that they're unpredictable in terms of what they'll be and when they'll happen. Do you think it's possible that while someone's listening to this message, even if the self hasn't collapsed, there could be changes to the neurology of the brain?
Yeah, maybe. Why not? I don't know what you mean with neurology, that's the thing. I mean, of course, maybe when there's less struggling about finding fulfillment, maybe somehow, who knows, theoretically, this could be measured. I don't know. Maybe huge parts of the brain turn dead even. I don't know. I have no idea, but why not, The
thing is, I know I've probably said something similar to this to you before, but it seems shocking to me that these apparent changes can take place in the character without a clear cause and effect of doing a certain practice or like seeing a therapist or whatever it is. But just by listening to this message and having this conversation with nothing, with boundlessness, let's say, and there could be like releases of old patterns and old conditioning and stuff like that without any effort on my part, basically.
Yeah, of course, because the amazing thing, lots of those things, that's why I would say about therapeutic life, to say something about it, because lots of those things apparently just are kept and held together by this illusion to be someone. So that's why they automatically vanish or soften when there is no one anymore. But it's not really therapeutical in a way that the person thinks about, that you end up having someone who is more healed. It's just the automatic dropping of all kinds of problems and neuroses that gathered around this sense of I am. So therapeutical in that sense is not the right word, at least not as far as I understand it, what the concept of therapy is. But of course, when you struggle from low self-esteem or low, I don't know, this guilt feelings, and suddenly there is no one anymore who might be guilty, of course, a lot of your problems are solved, so to speak, but not for anyone for whom they are solved. They just can't possibly pop up anymore because there is no one there anymore who could be guilty. But not conceptually or something. It's just there is not the sense of doership anymore. And automatically guilt can't happen in that sense. Or it's not part of a therapeutical process. as the person would understand it, to somehow learn how to deal with guilt, or somehow tell oneself that guilt isn't real, and or bring oneself out of the sense of guilt, which would all be therapeutic in a way. In that sense, there's no connection to therapy.
No, I get that this message isn't a therapy because I was trying to treat it like that for a while, but I get that it's not a therapy.
maybe that's what you're looking for secretly. No.
but what I was going to say is what you were saying about a lot of this neurosis is held together by the sense of being a person, and when that softens, the neurosis can soften. You can tell that to, well, some therapists might be open-minded to listen, but I think the bulk, I mean, I don't know a lot of therapists, but the ones that I saw back in the days, they wouldn't have had the time to listen to that. They'd go, well, we can't measure it. It doesn't make sense. There's no...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because for most people, this message is purely conceptual, and they think that this sentence, there is no one, I carry it around as if it would be a concept that serves me. And they would even think it's a much deeper dissociation. That's why they can't even imagine that what's talked about here isn't a concept or another illness.
They would think you are someone who was dissociated.
Probably.
Well, yeah, maybe some wouldn't, but...
Yeah. But I also know therapists, meanwhile, who send people to me. That also happens. Yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Well, not that this helps, but I had it. I mean, sometimes they have patients with depression, something like nothing makes sense and stuff like that, and they sent them over to me.
I think that's no offense to you, but I think that's a bit of a gamble, because it could go either way. Like, listening to this, for me, it could provide a lot of relief at times, and at other times everything gets more intense.
But yes, this is not another therapy. That's the thing. It's not another answer. It's not something you can, in the end, it's not something you can choose between 10 paths and hoping, non-duality is the right path. No, of course not. It doesn't provide an answer. It's not personal, just. And you don't know what comes out of it.
Okay, thank you.
But I mean, the therapist maybe also thought, well, I don't know how to help this person, so.
Andreas, do you know how to help?
Well, some of the people I work with, I refer your videos, your YouTube videos to them. And they get a great deal out of those. They enjoy them very much. Now, sometimes they'll say, okay, I have to take this slow. But yeah, for the most part, it's been very positive. Yeah. After hearing you talk, I was basically like a sailor on shore leave for a while. So like, because you just get rid of so much baggage, just so much stuff is just like no longer, it's just not there.
Yeah. Okay, so I move over to the chat bit. That's someone wrote, the paradox nature of a statement is often claimed to be an indication for truth. Hilarious. Well, yeah, the person's just desperate to find something. Yeah. Is all seeking wholeness looking for wholeness? Well, yeah, one could say so. I mean, seeking just is what apparently happens, like everything else, and it's just naturally whole and complete. Yeah, yeah.
But that only comes from the fact that you can say that at the end, wholeness looking for wholeness. You know, it's a nice thing to say, because the individual has no fucking idea what it's looking for, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds.
And then when he hears that, and like, oh yeah, now I'm looking for wholeness. Oh yeah, it's worthwhile.
Yes, it sounds a bit romantic to me too. Yeah. That's what I meant. Seeking is what apparently happens, and it's whole, but there isn't really anything seeking anything. It's just itself already.
There isn't anything that's not whole.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay, this is a question I can't answer. What do you think of the prophets and prophecies that they claim have come true? Sorry, I've no idea about which prophets and prophecies you talk about. I'm sorry. Dario.
I can say something about that.
Oh, you know which prophets are meant. Okay.
Hello. You want to say it? Go for it.
It's easier to drink alcohol.
All right. Okay, Dario.
I just remembered there's this book called The Never Ending Story, and there's this nothing that comes in and kind of swallows up everything. There's almost this message, only that the nothing is not a thing that can swallow up anything.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah. But it has a very negative connotation.
It has,
in that movie.
But sometimes the me perceives this as something very threatening and negative. That is just
Yeah, of course. That's actually how it feels. Like
gobbling up everything that it knows.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, for the person it is threatening. Death is threatening. The natural reality seems to be threatening for the person. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Just one more thing. Could it be that tomorrow the parent Andreas would talk about something completely different? Like there's no intention to like do anything like perpetuate this?
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't come out of a perpetuation or me having a clear message that I stick to consciously or something. Yeah, but it sounds very theoretical. But yeah, there is no one here providing a consistent truth that I somehow have to perpetuate with effort or stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. Whatever you say, it's not it anyway. Talking is it. Yes, of course. Oh, totally. What happens, what apparently happens is holiness, but it's empty. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and Joey suggests that genocide is the ultimate therapy. Well, it would be liberation. So.
Just one more question.
Yes.
With every statement you make, you could say this is it, but it's also not it. And then you could just go on saying this is it, and it's also not it.
Yes. Yeah. If I would try to make a statement, if I would try to say the truth, I would always have to add another sentence. It would never be over.
So you're also not trying to?
No. Yes, I'm not trying to. Anything. There is no one.
So you're not trying to keep the methods uncompromising?
No, it's automatic, but there is no one there doing that or thinking that it has to be like that or thinking that there is a message in the first place. Yeah, but it's not done.
So Tony's not calling you up and saying, hey, Andreas, I think your message is not uncompromising enough. I should work on that.
Well, it didn't happen yet, but yeah. I think I'm doing quite a good job.
Congrats, sir.
No, there's just no one there. That's the thing. There is no message. That's what's the uncompromising part about it. It's not the sentences. It's not the words that are spoken. There's just no one there. So yeah. And in the end, if you would have a sentence police, you could take all the sentences and say that they are compromising. Because for the person thinks, but you are saying something. So what this message would be saying, this could already be regarded as a compromise. Conceptually, of course.
So you could write a book about this, and then you could copy the book, and every statement you could just switch it around 180 degrees, and it would be just as valid.
Yes, absolutely. Almost.
So you can publish 2 books, and one is just this side of the coin and the other side of the coin.
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah. Yes. It's the same thing that we talked about before. Is there liberation now or not? Does something drop or not? Is this real or not? Can you say something that's true or not? And this is not the truth, but on the other hand, I'm not lying either. The talking just is what apparently happens. Sitting in front of a screen just is what apparently happened. But it can't be answered. Is it true? Is it not true? Is it right? Is it not right? Whatever.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, Anita.
It dropped already. Yeah. Yeah. It's not necessary to say. Yeah. So there is no side of the coin. There is no truth. There is no one.
Yes.
And the angriness is just an appearance.
Yes.
It's also not about not being angry.
Yes.
I'm still struggling with that angriness a little bit. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, George.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
So it's this, it's almost like, this whole thing of awareness, that this appearance of awareness, it's like a natural function of life, apparently. It's such like, I was realizing that it's what always would draw me back into doubt, because the question would arise like, well, what's aware of awareness and all that stuff. And it's so funny because, it's like, obviously that there's like, that's a thought, like what's aware of awareness. That's just, and the aware is, how do I say this? It's like there's no words, of course, one would have to stand outside of it in order to see it and notice it and label it. So like nothing, or I guess nothing is even aware, and what's being awared, things. It's like, yeah, that's all gone.
Yes, it just all goes.
Nothing to say. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, totally. Of course. It's such a dream. This whole thing, being aware of oneself, being aware of awareness, to be present and to know oneself and to stay as one is, or whatever the concept is, that's all it all goes. That is the dream, so to speak. I know that I'm awareness, I know that I'm aware and all that stuff. No, there isn't anyone. No one knows anything. No one experiences themselves. No one is aware of anything really. Yeah, it's just that is the dream. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's so simple. What we talk about is so simple.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Andreas?
Yes.
Would you say that like the stories makes it looks real? The stories about whatever, the stories themselves?
No, I think that for me, the stories are just symptoms of the sense of separation. I would always say you would need something to believe in the stories to make them seem real. because there are stories here, they don't seem real for me. They just are what they are, stories, so to speak, apparent stories. So no, I would say the person, which is, it gives
Right.
it reality.
Oh, you say so often, like in the story. So, you know, so what is like without the story or outside the story, or?
I think when I say in the story, I probably mean within what apparently happens.
Right.
I guess that's what I mean.
Yeah.
In the story, one could say that whatever.
Blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah, in the story, one could say that issues can be released. So that would be what apparently happens, the release of issues. I think that's what I mean when I say
Right.
story.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but for the person, that's the other thing. When there is someone, what this telling this story, there's the release of issues. For the person, this would immediately be regarded as a truth, as a real happening. Ah, okay. Issues can be resolved. Okay, interesting, interesting. So for the person, this would be not a story anymore, but something that is the truth.
I feel like talking to you is me basically saying, Andreas, give me something, give me something, give me something. No matter what you say, I'm like, yeah, but give me something. You know what I'm saying? It's constantly expecting an answer that's never going to come. It's
Never, no matter what I say, it won't answer anything. It's impossible. Yeah.
And yet that energy is still there. Give me something, give me, it's frustrating because there's no resolution to that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's and apparently one could say that is the person. Give me an answer. Walking, experiencing itself to be and to walk through life, constantly asking everything. Well, give me an answer. Is this the answer? Is it here? Does this answer my Lord? Yes, of course. And the frustration is that it never works. That's why it just keeps on trying. I mean, the funny thing is it can't really realize that it doesn't work. It can realize it conceptually at moments, but energetically, it can't realize that. So it just goes on walking through life, asking, where's the answer? Where's the answer? Yeah.
Energetically, there's frustration because no answer.
It can't be answered. Yeah. But the only idea that the person can come up with is, but I need an answer. You know, that's what I mean. It can't accept this. It can't accept that there is no answer and then go on, live happily being a me. That's what I mean. It's impossible. Because to be someone is the seeking.
It's just so weird to be aware of that. And yet still.
Well, it's still an apparent.
I'm with Anita. Maybe alcohol is the answer. But yeah, I'm aware of doing it, but yet that still persists. I mean,
well, that's still part of the dream. Now, apparently, you are aware of that. And of course, the moment you are aware of that, it's instantly, but this can't be it.
Thanks, Andreas.
Thanks. You're so welcome.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
So the person is more or less in a constant state of waiting for something to happen, like something needs to happen.
Yes.
And nothing is going to happen.
Yes.
So the person's waiting for something that's never going to happen.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's not only that you can't do it, it won't even happen. It doesn't exist. Whatever your story is, this projected event into the future, if it's called enlightenment or liberation or the dropping of the me or whatever. It just won't happen.
But would you say that with everything, if the person's waiting for more money or more whatever, it's not actually going to happen in the future, whatever it wants?
Yes, one could say so, yes. Well, whenever it's connected to this idea that this is something on my path, that there's something in getting this amount of money, I'll be a more happy me or something. Oh yeah, never, never. Of course, not a single bit. Nothing ever brought something deeper. Never. No insight, no amount of money, no personal development step, whatever. It was all empty. Nothing was gained in anything at all. Never. And the person just thinks, yeah, but it wasn't enough. I got a lot. This seminar was so gorgeous. It gave me such a lot, what was wisdom or love or something. It just wasn't everything. It just wasn't totally it, but quite a lot. But no, it never happened. No one ever got anything from anything.
Is that why you don't promote your own meetings? Because you don't think there's anything for anyone in them?
Yes. Oh yes, I don't
No,
want.
no,
I don't want people to come, of course.
It's crazy. Thank you.
Thank you. Exactly. Alcohol is the same as meditation. You need to do it over and over. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. And it's the same with meditation. Usually there's a waking up next morning. So that's why it doesn't work. I tried as well. Okay, Anita.
It's just easier to go into the liquor store than to develop a meditation practice.
Well, that's true, I guess. Okay, Anita, you?
Yeah, there is nothing to be healed.
There is no you.
Yeah.
Yes. Which can't be known. It's just that this apparent instance that some people believe to be, that the feeling that, oh, I am present, that just doesn't have any reality at all. It's not a concept. I mean, for the person, you can regard it as a concept. There is no me, but
Yeah.
it actually refers to what the person would call my existence. I am, this deep sense of presence, or for the person would regard it as a deep sense of presence. But no, it's not real.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's not about knowing. Yeah. In a way, there is still angriness, yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah. However, no one knows that.
Mm-hmm.
So no one knows that angriness isn't wrong in order to make angriness be good. Angriness is just what seems to be happening.
Yeah.
In the end, it doesn't even care about if it's good or not. It's just what happens, apparently.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So it doesn't matter if there's a dropping away or not.
Yeah, not at all, of course. Oh, yeah. It's not real anyway, so that's the first thing. There isn't a real presence that could drop away, really. But yeah, yes. Oh, it's not a goal of anything.
Yeah, I was viewing the dropping away as arriving or getting to a better state.
Of course, as if this has value and as if this is what life is about or what this meeting is about or some. Oh, no, there's nothing there that should drop or could drop or will drop. And in the story, one could say, even if there would be separation and someone, wholeness still wouldn't have the intention to end that. There's no intention. It would just be what apparently happens. It's not the goal.
Well, it feels almost like as if hearing when I first heard your videos is almost like I got caught in a tractor beam. If you watch Star Trek, you know what that is, right? And to listen to the talk was almost like irresistible. I had to show up to hear the talks. But I was listening to the talks because when you talked about the apparent dropping away of self and the self not being real, I was like fascinated by that. All right. But I've come to the conclusion that for some reason that initial fascination with that seems to have been the reason for listening. But along the line, the whole thing changed. It's just it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter, of course. Yeah. Really. Yeah.
So that initial attraction to the talk seems to have, okay, this is a story, seems to have served some purpose to get to where I am now, to where, oh, it doesn't matter if you wake up or not. It's just no.
Oh, this whole issue doesn't exist. Well, I mean, of course, when you say now it had a purpose and stuff, it's another idea. No, it just was what apparently happened. The whole thing, what the person would regard as a process, so to speak, where one thing led to the other, and where one thing was needed in order to come to the other. No, that all of that just was what apparently happened, and nothing was really needed to happen. But it was exactly as it was, as it is exactly as it is. Yeah.
But I feel fortunate to have heard it. For some reason, I feel like, I feel fortunate to have heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, why not?
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it. There's no message, there is no teaching, there is no right or wrong way to be, because there is no one being in the first place. What happens, what apparently happens, is just whole and complete, naturally, blindly. It's not a big thing. What we talk about is very natural. So it's not even a little thing or a small thing. It's automatic. What we talk about is already happening, apparently, all the time, so to speak. It's this. It's just this. Thank you very much for joining, and I wish you a lovely time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Andreas.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.